Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Orphanlast, and today I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a channel update and kind of show you some of my work that I've done in Photoshop. This is my DeviantArt page. I go by the name Augustine Graphics over there. And so let's go ahead and get on into it, okay? So basically, I feel like I'm in this weird transitional stage inside of my channel and my YouTubing experience, where basically... okay, so I've shown you how to make this 2D cutout animation rig, right? Now you may be thinking, okay, well let's now learn how to animate this thing. Well, okay, I would love to do that, but the problem is right now I have this 2D cutout animation rig. By the way, some of this is stuff that I've done commercially, and some of the stuff is things that I've done for schooling and stuff like that. But anyway, so here I have this cutout animation rig, and I have him sitting there with this white background behind him, and I can show you how to animate him, do a little dance, or I could go ahead and show you how to do a walking animation with him. And neither one of those things seems interesting to me at all, not even remotely. And so that kind of gets me to think what I want to do is actually show you how to get this cutout animation to interact with a background, how to interact with other things, and how to show him twisting, turning, flipping, doing a bunch of really cool stuff. I don't just want to show you how to get him to do a little dance. I want to show you how to actually animate with this cutout animation rig and the variously different things that you can do with it. Some of the things I've shown inside of my videos on how to make the cutout animation rig, it's like it's all been focused on basically how to create a mesh and bones for each and every single appendage. And the more and more I think about it, I think by the time that I get to showing you guys how to animate this guy, I think that I will actually delete some of those meshes. And I think I'm going to essentially get rid of some of the bones or skeletons off of the guy and do a hell of a lot more traditional animation for most of the body parts of this character. But just having each and every single body part on a separate column parented together properly, this sort of thing makes the whole animation process much easier. And so that's all stuff that I think is kind of cool. But anyways, but I need to have a background first. And if I'm going to have tutorials showing you guys how to do a background, I want to show you guys how to do perspective. First, I need to kind of show you guys some real basic information about projective geometry as well as just normal geometry. And I'm not a master of geometry, by the way. I actually understood very little about geometry when I was in high school, but there are some things that I do know and that I use while doing while drawing perspective work. And I want to show you the tools that OpenToonz has available for you when making a background. And I also want to show you guys how to make a background in Krita, which brings me to my next point. Okay, OpenToonz is primarily designed, it was primarily designed with the intent of you drawing with a light table and with a pencil and paper, drawing out each and every single drawing, scanning it in, cleaning up the image with, let's see, change project, cleaning up the animation with OpenToonz, coloring it, setting up your timing, and all of your columns in the right frames, and then going into the animation tab, I guess, and then using the stage and effects schematic and making everything look really cool with all of the stuff, and then going ahead and rendering it. That's primarily what OpenToonz was designed for. You can draw each and every single level. I've already proven this. You can draw each and every single level for an animation inside of OpenToonz. But it makes the coloring process extremely difficult because here I have this 63 frame animation. And this 63 frame animation has 1 level here, 31 levels here, and 63 levels here. Yeah, and this is just roughs that don't render, really. And then I have a bunch of special effects added on top of it. So let's take a look at this real quick. Okay, so I've gone ahead and added it all up. I had to color 95 frames. Okay, and each and every single one of those frames, because I drew every single drawing, each and every single level inside of OpenToonz, it made it a nightmare. I spent like what felt like 30 minutes on each and every single level. It was a horrible experience. Whereas coloring the drawing for my cutout animation rig was just seamless. It was perfect. I didn't run into a single problem. And some of the weirdness of OpenToonz is this. Let me pull out the control point editor. Okay, well, let's see. Control point editor. Let's select a level here. Okay, for some reason I can't edit this. And I'm not really quite sure what's going on. But basically the fills. If you use Adobe Flash or something like that, or Adobe Animate, whatever they're calling it now, whenever you fill and color an image, like right here, this is a red fill filling in his shirt, okay? In Photoshop, I'm sorry, in Adobe Flash, you're creating an actual physical object with the fill, whereas in OpenToonz, you're not. The fill, it doesn't even really exist. What it does is it has this weird algorithm that decides, okay, so this looks like a closed space, and so I'll fill it in. And sometimes you wind up with these weird glitches where, let me see if I can find one, where, one second, actually you can kind of see one here, like it doesn't recognize that as part of the area that needs to be filled. And let's move on through here. Come on. Like, I think you get the point. Sometimes it's just so aggravating having to struggle with the coloring process. And because of that, I've decided that from here on out, I'm going to be using Krita in concert with OpenToonz. Okay, and so my channel is going to be focusing on tutorials for Krita and OpenToonz and using them both together. Now, they are both 100% free. Anyone and everyone can easily get their hands on it. Now, I've already gone ahead and shown you guys the work that I've done with Photoshop. Okay, Photoshop is no stranger to me. Photoshop is excellent if you're wanting to create photo composite images and trying to improve images and stuff like that. It's like a photographer's dream. I've done some drawing with OpenToonz. Here's a drawing here. Here's a drawing here. And really, honestly, here I've improved drawing with Photoshop. Really, the drawing and painting experience with Photoshop is okay. However, with Krita, which is amazing for a free program, Krita is the best drawing and painting experience, like digital painting experience, I have ever had. So take that for what it's worth. Here I am, somebody who is able to make some rather interesting looking images, like this one, or like this one where the grass was all dead originally when I got the image. This guy wasn't even here. None of these sun rays are real. That shadow isn't real. Like, I made all of that. Krita is the best drawing experience I've ever had on a computer. So take that for what it's worth. And Krita has a lot of really interesting tools at your disposal in order to make perspective drawings. Now, not only that, like you've seen this specific background before. It was in my very first YouTube video. What is OpenToonz and who is Orphanlast? Watch this video. You can see the animation that we're going to continue making. And then after that, I'll show you how to get the cutout animation rig and how to animate him into the scene. Anyways, that concludes it.